Hi guys, how are you doing? This is from techcentury, and as you might have heard, a couple of days ago, a company called OnePlus announced their very first smartphone, the One. And it's highly anticipated not only because of the amazing specs, but especially because of the amazing price point. And alongside the launch of this phone, there's also a campaign called Smash the Past. So this is exactly what I'm going to talk to you guys about today. So let's get started after the intro. So to first just recap the announcement of the OnePlus One smartphone, this is a seriously amazing smartphone. First off, the design just looks amazing. Now the people that are behind OnePlus actually came from Oppo, so there are definitely a couple of similarities to phones from Oppo that we've seen in the past, but in general the design just looks really great and it's really sleek and elegant. Also in terms of specs, this is a killer smartphone, so it has a 5.5-inch screen, 1080p resolution, also an IPS screen. So this is definitely in the phablet territory, so somewhere around where we also find the Note 3, definitely bigger than, for example, also the LG G2 or also Galaxy S5. In addition to the nice screen, we also get a Snapdragon 801 quad-core chip, and this is basically the fastest chip that you can find in any smartphone right now. So great news right there. The processor is actually backed up by 3 gigs of RAM, which should be a breeze for multitasking. In terms of operating system, there's actually CyanogenMod 11S, and this is a version that was specifically developed for the OnePlus One smartphone. So you should get a really secure operating system that's very close to stock Android, and overall just a great experience, no bloatware or anything like that. In terms of camera, we'll get a 5-megapixel front-facing camera as well as a 13-megapixel camera on the back, and both have Sony sensors, so they should be pretty good. Also, we have stereo speakers on the bottom of the phone, which is very nice to see. Of course, not as good as, for example, on the HTC One, so they are not front-facing, but still we have stereo speakers, so that's definitely welcome. Now, in addition to all these really nice features, we also have a removable back, and this back will be able to just switch it out, for example, for wood cover, for something like Kevlar, so there will be a lot of different materials. So that's definitely similar to what we've already seen on the Moto X from Motorola. But just in general, a really high-end phone, and also just the removable back covers look really nice. Now there are 2 colors available. There's one that's called Silk White, and this will actually only be available on the 16GB version, which is kind of a shame. But the 16GB version, and that's really the killer about this whole smartphone announcement, is the price. So in the US, this will launch for $299 without a contract, and with all the specs I just mentioned, this is an amazing price and even beats out the Nexus 5. Now, where this gets even better and even more interesting is that you can actually get a version with 64GB of storage for $350. So only $50 premium to get your storage up from 16 to 64GB. But unfortunately, the OnePlus One doesn't offer a microSD card slot. But honestly, a $50 premium to get 64GB of storage, I think, is a fantastic deal. And if you have 64GB, it's unlikely that you really need a microSD card slot. So amazing price, even better specs. Now, for the guys that are living also here in Germany, for example, actually the phone with 64GB of storage is only 299 euros. So they have a very fair currency conversion. And so that's definitely great to see, because with other phones, if they cost 350 in the US, it's also 350 euros here in Germany. So nice to see that they have a very fair conversion going on. Now, all these specs and the price are great, and they definitely differentiated themselves from other companies in the smartphone market. But there's one big gripe about this, or one big downfall, and that's that you can't just go out in the store and purchase the OnePlus One right now, or you can't actually even pre-order it online. So the OnePlus One, at least to start off with, will be like an invite system only. So you'll have to get an invite from OnePlus One in order to be able to purchase the phone. If you then purchase the phone, you'll get another invite that you can just give to a friend or whatever. And actually, to kind of address that, they started a marketing campaign called Smash the Past. Now, this campaign caused a lot of controversy in the last couple of days, and basically what it is that they will give a OnePlus One smartphone 16GB for only $1 or €1 to 100 people. Now, these 100 people will then have to smash their current smartphone live on YouTube, or not live, but they have to upload a video on YouTube where they smash their phone, and then they can get a OnePlus One for €1 or $1. but you have to apply first. And a couple of guys already just went ahead, destroyed their smartphone on YouTube without reading the rules. Now, the rules are fairly simple. You just basically go to the website of OnePlus One. I'll leave a link in the description below. And there you just have to fill out a form with your name, where you're living, so what country you live in, and also what smartphone you have, because only a variety of smartphones or a special selection of smartphones are actually accepted. So you can't like crush your 20-year-old Nokia phone. You actually have to have a fairly recent smartphone like the LG G2, like an iPhone, I don't know, 5S or 5. Also, I think in Samsung Galaxy S4 or Galaxy S5 will work. And if you do that after you got the confirmation that they picked you, then you will be getting the smartphone one back, and you can also get 3 more invites to buy a OnePlus One smartphone. Now, as I've already mentioned, a couple of guys didn't read the rules, so they just went ahead and smashed their smartphone here on YouTube without actually even signing up or entering the competition. And the competition says that you should wait for the reply. They will pick the winners on the 5th of May. And only if you then get an email from OnePlus One saying, yes, you've got it, smash your phone and you'll get a OnePlus One for $1. If you don't wait till then, you're out of luck. And it caused a lot of controversy because a lot of people said, well, you shouldn't just smash your perfectly working fine smartphone. You should give it to charity. You should sell it on eBay. You should do this and that, and you shouldn't smash it. And honestly, I think that's just a bunch of BS, to be honest. Now, let's face it, if you have a smartphone, for example, I have an LG G2, that you can see right here. So I actually did enter the competition. So I said I would smash my LG G2. I would just drive over it with a car or something like that. And for those people that say, well, you shouldn't just crash your perfectly fine working smartphone, for the people that are saying, well, you should rather sell it. Now, what difference does it make if I smash my phone or if I sell it to somebody? Doesn't make really any difference. What difference does it make whether I smash my phone or if I just put it in a drawer and I have 20 smartphones laying there? So for me, that's just a bunch of BS, because in the end, nobody cares whether the phone is smashed or not, or whether it's just in my drawer and nobody uses it. Now, the point of giving it to charity is good and all. Now, I don't think that a smartphone like the LG G2 is the best thing that you should give to charity. For example, money is definitely a better thing. But then again, I'm sure a lot of people would just put it in their drawer, and that's basically it. So they buy OnePlus One. If they don't sell their current smartphone, they'll just put it in a drawer and then it will be just there. So it doesn't really matter if they smash it or if they put it in the drawer or whatever they do with it, whether they sell it on eBay. Now, in my opinion, you just have to think about whether it's worth for you to smash your phone. Now, there are a couple of ways to look at it. Now, the LG G2 that I have right here is the 16GB version. And if I sell this now, for example, on eBay local listings here in Germany, then I would probably get around 250 euros for it. And I'm planning on purchasing the OnePlus One smartphone anyways. So if I then just sell this for 250, buy OnePlus One for 269, then basically I made $19, or the phone, the OnePlus One, cost me $19. So if they give me the chance to just smash my G2 and then get the OnePlus One for $1, that's a good deal for me. And also I'll get 3 more invitations to actually buy 64GB version of the phone. And in the end, yes, they say you can just give the invitation to a friend, but honestly, you can just like sell the invitations, for example, on eBay, and you'll make a really nice profit. So now, while this is actually worth it with a device like my LG G2, a couple of people are also, for example, offering that they would smash their HTC One M8. So that smartphone costs around like $500 or $600, and you basically just get a phone that's worth $300 in return. So does that actually make sense to smash your HTC One or even Galaxy S5? Now, usually you would say, well, it doesn't make sense to smash a $600 smartphone in order to get one that's worth $300. But then again, I would say, no, it still makes sense, because in fact, you not only get the smartphone, the OnePlus One, but you also get 3 invitations. And especially because you can't just walk into the store, buy a OnePlus One, and especially because there's only this invitation system going on currently, these invitations will be worth pure money. So If you, for example, not just give them 2 friends, but if you just go on eBay and sell your invitations, then I can assure you that you'll make at least $100 profit with each of these invitations, maybe even more, maybe 200. There are a couple of crazy people on eBay that are selling or that are actually paying crazy prices for stuff that's short on supply. And the OnePlus One will definitely be short on supply. So basically you just smash your HTC One or Galaxy S5, then get a OnePlus One in 16GB. So you basically have something that's worth 300. Then you'll sell your 3 invitations on eBay and you'll at least make $300 off of that, maybe even 400, 500 or 600. So then you don't only have the OnePlus One smartphone that's worth 300, but you'll also have like 300, 400, 500 or even $600 in cash. So you actually make a nice profit even smashing your very expensive smartphone. So I think if you're fine with smashing your smartphone, this is actually a very good deal, especially because the phone will be short on supply and because there will be a lot of people that are willing to pay even more than the regular retail price to get their hands on one very early. And so I think this is a win-win situation. Now, one thing I definitely want to address, and that's that you shouldn't just destroy your smartphone and then just put it in a regular trash bin. You should take care of actually recycling it and stuff. So there are actually places that take smartphones and you should take it there, because things like the battery and the display are something that you just shouldn't put in your regular trash. Also, you should be fairly careful. For example, I think one of the suggestions of destroying your smartphone on the OnePlus One website is actually to like set your smartphone on fire, and you should be very careful because a lot of these smartphones like the LG G2 or also something like the HTC One doesn't have a removable battery, and if there's a battery in your smartphone, you should be very careful that the smartphone doesn't explode on you, because you really don't want that and you really don't want to injure yourself. So definitely make sure to recycle the smartphone after you destroyed it, and also make sure to not put it on fire if there's like a battery inside, because otherwise you can like severely hurt yourself, which is something that nobody wants. So please take care of that. And that kind of also wraps up my thoughts on the Smash the Past campaign. I think it's a fantastic campaign. I think they said that over 100,000 people actually signed up in like the first 24 hours, which is absolutely insane. And I just hope that even if you're not selected, and even if I'm not selected in just like the 100 people that can buy it, that's still the just official sale where you can just walk into a store and buy it. Won't be too long off. I kind of expect it to be maybe like the end of May, beginning of June. And I can't wait to replace my LG G2, and the OnePlus One just seems like an absolute killer deal. So hopefully I'll be able to get my hands on the phone soon. And of course I'll also bring you coverage here on the channel with a full review. Let me know what you think, not only of the OnePlus One, the smartphone in general, but also of course of the price point. And also, if you want to smash your phone, what you think of the campaign, and if you think you just shouldn't smash a perfectly fine working phone, or if you basically have the same opinion as me that it's your phone, it doesn't really matter what you do. If you want to give something to charity, don't give them an HTC One, but actually give them some money. That will help a lot more. And yeah, I'm just really eager to hear your opinions, especially also on the Smash the Past campaign, which I think is excellent, but a lot of people just seem to hate it. So yes, that also wraps up the video. I'm looking forward to also seeing you guys in my next video. See you next time. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you want to subscribe to the channel, make sure to click the annotation next to this video, or also click next or previous to check out another video of ours. Thanks for watching. See you next time.